Okay, here we are. We're looking at the Garmin R50 and the Garmin Tour. You can see last week, those that followed my round, I hadn't had a win in a while, and I'm pretty stoked because I finished 6 under my first round. Only had one chance to play, and I played fantastic, and it was good enough to win. It's been a long time since I've won. So that's the goal this week. I'm going to get in there, hopefully, as I walk into the sim right now. I'm going to go in and I'm going to play the Rocket Classic. And I'd like to see a winning streak go, which is crazy to think because I just played the worst round of golf 2 rounds in a row on the real course, worst scores of the year. And I can't even remember a time in the last decade that I've shot that bad with as much ball control as I've had. I don't even know how to explain it, but I'll talk about it in my round. Come join me in. Let's see how it goes. All right. One of the things you have to do is bear with me as I go through these rounds. One, I try not to do any takes. I just try to be raw reaction, not only to my round, but kind of what's going on in my own personal golf game. I just got back from a qualifier. Those who watched, I was playing a qualifier and I shot the worst round of my life. I got through 8 holes. Oh, let's see, start with birdie here. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. Oh, no, just missed. But I had started the round pretty good. I had full ball control. I've been struggling with some 3 putts. And one of the things I just did is I went to a Scotty Cameron. It's kind of a mallet style putter. And it's supposed to have enough toe hang to help me kind of close the blade because I'm an open to close arc putter. And I tried the Spider from TaylorMade, but it's like way too. It's hot is the best way I can explain it. And when the greens are faster, I had a harder time using it. Whereas the Scotty Cameron had a really soft feel and really muted feel. Oh my goodness, I should have gone underneath the tree. It had a soft feel, and so far, it was my first round doing it. It was in a qualifier, to be honest, though. The only reason I did it is because I've just been putting so poorly. My 3 putts have been just awful. And then once I get inside of 5 feet, it's just not been good. So my 3 putts in my qualifying round were all lag putts. It was the first putt that was the issue and not the second putt. I don't know that I missed a putt inside 5 feet. So that gives me confidence in the rounds ahead. To kind of give you an idea, the course that we qualified at, it's actually my home course, and we played the back tees. And when you're playing with a bunch of collegiate kids, they're pretty dang good. But to give you an idea what the scoring average was, it was 80. It's already a really tough golf course, and if you're a scratch, a 76 is a really good score. And it just always plays difficult. Although I've gotten good rounds before, the guy that led or won, there's 1 round under par, and he shot 2 under, and then everything else was over par. And I think what qualified was 74, which I missed that by a long shot, unfortunately. But I got through 10. I 3-putted 9 to go 1 over. And then 11, we call it the shortest par 5 in the valley. And long story short, it's almost like an island green. There's nowhere you can miss. I aimed left of the flag. There's this like steep bank that goes right in front of the pin. And if you don't clear onto the green, it's going to roll all the way back into this massive, there's a stream down there, but it's also heavy native. Mine was not in the stream. It was native. Long story short, it's 7 strokes later, I had a nice quadruple bogey on that particular hole. And then that pretty much put me out of reach almost. Having said that, though, I had some opportunities. So I went into the next hole. I piped it down the fairway. And it's a real links style course. So I had this way uphill type side hill lie. And so I had this lie that was horrendous, but I was in the fairway, and I was like, okay, why not? like one of the statistics that I look at is always on a par five, give it the most go that you can. If you give it the most go that you can, then you usually have a chip shot and your chances of par are great. Well, it was a poor assessment because I knocked it out of bounds with a 5-wood on the right, took a double. So here we are. I went from 1 over par, kind of hanging in there, been in great shape, and then all of a sudden I'm 7 over par. Went par, went birdie, so I got it back to 6, and then we finished with I 3-putted the next hole, which is my third 3-putt, just to make it that much more entertaining. In fact, that was one that I did miss. That was unfortunately it was right about the 5-foot mark. It was a really tough first putt where I left it, but I hit it in the best place in the green that you could, given the pin position. All in all, I feel like my putting was better for as high of a score as I shot. Now, having said that, then I went to the 3 hardest holes, and those who have followed my channel and seen me try to finish those, they're always difficult. Normally I hit 5-wood on the next hole off the tee because it's there's a bend, a heavy dog leg on this par 5. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to just try to bleed a cut, and there's a chance I can go for the green in 2, which is already really unlikely. And I carried it through the fairway into the hazard. So it was a beautiful round. It was as frustrating as it gets, and the worst score I shot all year. Frustrating. Now, having said that, everybody else struggled too, mostly because of the wind and the difficulty of the course. I had full command. I just made some really poor choices, with the exception of the par 3 where number 11, where I took a quad. And the poor choices were, I just honestly, I don't know what to do. As I looked back at it, I think what I should have done was re-tee and then almost lay up to the left hand. Like, it's an island green. There's a spot that you can miss, and just take all the trouble out of it, get a double bogey, and move on. Because then I'm only 3 over. Honestly, 3 over might have made it. And then I had a par 5 next that, it's actually the highest scoring average of all the 18 holes. It's a really tough hole just for a par 5. It always plays. In fact, when I saw the recap, I think it's playing 5.7, which is ridiculous. It's just a really hard par 5. But maybe then I had a chance. I'm going to kind of dive back into this round that I got going on now. Oh, you know what? Before I do that, I'm sitting there thinking about my round where I didn't qualify. All in all, I didn't leave the golf course super defeated. One, I had really good command of my golf ball. I didn't have command of my choices, which I feel like I can correct. And normally I'm pretty good at that, where I'm going to take the most conservative play. I stopped doing that to some extent just because of that quadruple bogey that almost put me out of contention. But looking back now and where the scores were, and even the scoring average, had I just played conservative the rest of the round, if I parred out, that wouldn't have done it. But I would have been, top 5, to be honest, which I would have been pretty proud, or I'm sorry, top 10, which I would have been really proud of. Giving how poorly I keep playing, and I'm playing against collegiate kids, and I'm an old man anymore. So it's humbling as I go out and play with these guys. Okay, here I am. I'm making the turn on this Garmin tour here at the Detroit Golf Club, and I'm only 1 under par. My gut tells me that I shot 6 under last week at the Travelers, and I kind of wanted to comment on the Travelers here in a sec, but I shot 6 under there. I'm feeling like that's about what it's going to take here. Maybe 7 under at this golf club, just in my experience. Oh, don't back up. These greens are softer, and you can see I just pulled myself out of birdie. That tells me that somebody's going to come in low, and I'm sitting at 1 under. That's not going to do it. Going back to, it's funny, the choices we make. I was looking at Tommy Fleetwood, and I feel like his score, I watched a good portion of that golf tournament, and where I feel like he really, really made a mistake was on 18 in that approach shot. And my gut says, being in positions like that before, he's in a spot where he's feeling like he's really hyped, maybe a little bit of adrenaline going. And when you look at where that pin position is, and to give you an idea, just on a short right or front right pin, and even though it was a little more middle-ish, the bunker was a huge hazard. He took that out of play for sure on the line that he took. But ultimately, almost all PGA Tour pros, if you're going to have a lot of bogeys, that's where it happens, is on those front right pins. And then there's a bunker or a hazard that are there. And he took that piece out of play, but I have a feeling he was worried about carrying it into the green. And because he was worried about carrying it into the green, he clubbed back knowing how hyped he was, and he wanted to hit something hard. I will say, when I'm under pressure, I'd much rather almost always hit something hard and have to swing somewhat aggressively, because when I have to hit something soft, I really, really struggle. That's just my gut and what he said. And then even it was just so much pressure to put on your putter in the last hole to win a PGA Tour event. I can't even imagine what was going through his mind and how much struggle that was. I felt so bad for him because I was really, really rooting for him. He's one of like the class acts of the PGA Tour, in a tour that kind of lacks a few. There's a number of them, but you need those top players like Tommy Fleetwood, who are just like the class of the whole game, up there and at the top. I just love his game. He goes low all the time. I was so disappointed. Now, having said that, Keegan is another class act that I absolutely love, and I think he's one of my favorite golfers, to be honest. He's such a star, and I hope he plays in the Ryder Cup team because he is fantastic. Getting back to my round here, still need a little bit of room. Or one thing, this is my first round since I shot my, at least on the sim, since I left the golf course. And my driver, which I had full command of on the real golf course, I seem to be struggling with here. I'm just hitting this big cut. I don't know why. I'm wiping it so much. So you've probably noticed on every single hole, I'm aiming to the left-hand side. Luckily, there's very little trouble on this golf course. Now, I'm guessing when they start playing tomorrow, on Thursday, the rough is a little more penal than what I'm experiencing. But here I can get up and down for birdie. It should be pretty good. Awesome. Okay, now I still have a chance. If I just birdie out, I feel like I have a really, really good chance of taking the lead here. Going back to Keegan, I hope that he can call on somebody that logistically really knows how to organize and can be a great right-hand man, because I feel like he absolutely needs to play. He's been so ridiculously good. I hope that takes place, but we're going to see if he ends up electing to do that. Going back to my round on the sim, it's funny how when I'm on here, there's some pressures that you don't get to encounter when you're on the golf course. Number one, you can see I'm not even hitting it all that great. So let me look at this. A big wiper driver, and I'm way to the right. One, I am not dealing with the rough. I really am not. All I got to do is the math. It's 10%, right? These are high impact, like could be troublesome. And look, I even got a birdie out of it. Now I got a little bit of a round going, which is nice. But having said all that, one, it aims you in the right direction. You may have to make minimal adjustments, but once you're aimed, you are aimed. When you're on the golf course, all the things like whether it's tee boxes aiming you the wrong way or your eyes lying to you frequently, like I had my son in his golf tournament yesterday, and he swears he's down by one against my other son, and he has to make a birdie to beat him. And he's aimed all the way the right-hand side in the bunker of this par 4 that's reachable. I get him adjusted, and next thing you know, because his eyes lie to him, Next thing you know, he pipes it. He drives the green, puts it 15 feet. My other son did the same thing. He's the way the hole was laid out, he's aiming at the bunker, and too far right. I tell him, he won't listen to me, of course. And I don't know many kids that will, but my oldest son, he's a little bit better at listening. And all of a sudden my other son hits it into the fair or the bunker and now has to get up and down for par. And his only chance to beat my other son, well, my oldest son canned an eagle on the last hole, to make it and beat, his brother, it was really, really cool. And it was cool to see it pay off because he's worked so hard. He's worked so hard. And like I have two, I'm not seeing results, but he's at that age where he's getting great results, and seeing the day in, day out work that he does. And I love seeing that progress. It's more exciting than the progress I get. Okay, last hole. Come on, birdie. Oh, I was guessing 5 under would have done it. I was guessing 5 under would have done it. Let's see where we're at here. Okay, T1. I can live with that. Not bad. I'm going to follow up on this next week. I appreciate you joining me. Have a great day.